Stella stared at the back screen of her phone long after the call ended. Her thoughts raced. Something in Patricia's excitement felt too practiced, too calculated. Why would Richard's return, a moment she had dreamt of, feel like a tightening noose around her chest? She stood and began to pace her small apartment. The ticking clock on the wall sounded louder than ever. Each tick, a reminder that time was running towards answers she might not be ready to face. Her phone buzzed again. A text from Patricia. Don't be late. 6 p.m. sharp at his family house in Montana. Stella read the message over and over. Something still didn't sit right. She called Richard's number. It rang. Once, twice, then switched off. Why hasn't he called me? She whispered. She pulled out a shoebox, tucked under her bed. Inside were letters, photographs, and the engagement ring Richard had given her before he left. She slipped the ring onto her finger and stared at it. I need to see this through, no matter what. The day of the party arrived. Stella showed off her priceless dress. But as soon as she stepped into the celebration, something felt wrong. Richard's family barely acknowledged her. Whenever she tried to greet his siblings, they would walk away or act as if she wasn't there. Confused and uneasy, she decided to approach Richard's mother, who seemed too busy to spare her a moment. Maybe I'll just talk to Richard when he shows up, Stella thought to herself, forcing a smile. The thought of finally seeing him after all these years kept her going. She had waited so long for this moment, dreaming of the day he would come home to her. But the joy of anticipation was quickly overshadowed by doubt. Why hasn't he called me back? I tried so many times to reach him, but his number was always unreachable. Why hasn't he reached out at all? Her thoughts spiraled until she was jolted back to reality by Patricia's voice. Richard! Patricia called out excitedly as she ran toward him. He had just entered the room, and Patricia threw her arms around him. Richard embraced her warmly, his face lighting up. Stella's heart sank. Jealousy and confusion churned within her. But she told herself Patricia was just thrilled to see him, just like she was. She stepped forward, her own heart racing, ready to greet the man she had longed for. Richard, Stella called softly, walking toward him. But as she reached out for a hug, Richard abruptly stepped away, his face cold. Without a word, he turned and walked past her, leaving her frozen in place. Her heart shattered. What was happening? Why was Richard treating her like a stranger? Around her, the room seemed too close in the laughter and celebration. now feeling distant and hollow. Stella stood there, trying to hold back tears as the man she thought she knew drifted further and further away.